Hi everyone, in this tutorial we're going to learn how to create these two nice linear preloader animations with gradients. As you see, we have two variants of our preloaders with gradients. One is with animated gradients, and the other one is both with the animated pattern and gradient. So let's get started. I usually take some notes and review them before recording a tutorial to make sure that I'm doing everything that I want to do in that particular tutorial, but this time I decided to organize notes better and make them look better also, and include them on screen. That way maybe it can be more helpful for the designers who wants to check the shared file and create the components from the assets. As my directions suggest, I'm gonna copy these two elements and mask the gradient as suggested there, but the gradient needs to be in front, right? So I'm gonna mask it, and I'm gonna turn it into a component and add a new variant as suggested. Let's name this gradient to make things more descriptive, and I'm gonna add a new variant. Move the mask gradient all the way to the left. Yeah, and I'm going to prototype mode, creating a connection from the first variant to the second with 1 ms delay, because we want the animation between those two gradients to happen as soon as possible. As I can't enter 0 here, delay needs to be 1 millisecond. Transition is going to be smart animate, easing is going to be ease out, and duration is going to be 500 milliseconds. So I'm gonna do the same for the second variant, and Figma is going to remember the other settings, right? So to test the animation, I'm gonna drag an instance to my test frame and center it, and with shift space, hopefully I'm gonna see a gradient animation. So the second part is going to be overlaying BG animation. As I say here in the notes, we cannot animate a component that already has an animation, unfortunately. If that was the case, we would be able to, let's actually copy this component real quick, and let's call this gradient 2. So we can delete it later. So I'm gonna delete that instance. We might just want to decrease the size of the mask and create a also resizing animation, right? Let's drag an instance of gradient 2. As you see, unfortunately, the gradient is not being animated. All we see is the size. Since it is not possible, we're going to overlay a background animation to reveal the gradient animation, and with layers we're going to be able to create the animation we want. So first I'm dragging again an instance of the gradient component and center it to the frame, and I'm taking this background layer, and as it says in the notes, I'm duplicating it to mask it with itself, turning it into a component. Let's call this PG, and adding a new variant. In this new variant, I'm moving the background layer all the way to the right. So this will create an illusion of gradient animation is being resized, right? I'm going to prototype tab as suggested here. I'm going to drag a connection from first variant to second. Again, we want animation to happen immediately. The rest of the settings same except the duration, right? It's gonna be 5000 milliseconds. So now we're gonna test if our background animation is working. Actually, we can make our background size a little bigger to cover the whole gradient. Yeah, right now it's much better. So the next steps are going to be for adding a completed text. I'm adding a new variant. In this new variant, I'm adding a completed text with black font weight and with a size of 18 pixels, and changing its color to completed text color. Actually, I forgot to change the size of the background to completed PG. Okay. I'm gonna check also the layers to make sure my text is in the right place. So I'm moving it all the way to the right to make it completely invisible. I'm waiting to be animated while keeping it still in the variant's mask. And I'm gonna create another variant, and in this new variant I'm gonna reveal the text, making sure it's centered, and going to the prototype mode. I'm dragging a connection with the suggested settings. First, as we copied this variant from the previous one, it already has a connection or interaction. I'm disabling it, so let's check the latest additions of our animation. As I see, our light blue background is not appearing on the screen because I guess we skipped adding this interaction from the second variant to the third. Yeah, I'm entering the settings because we need a little bit of delay after the reveal of the gradient animation. So let's check. Oh, I guess we kept the transition on Smart Animate. We need it to be dissolved. So let's check again. Yeah, but right now we can't see our completed text. Let's fix it. Hopefully our animation is going to be working flawlessly this time. Let's see that again. Yeah, perfect. The next step is going to be creating a pattern animation. So I'm copying the pattern and the mask. In order to mask the pattern needs to be in front of the mask, right? So I'm selecting both of the elements and click mask. So yeah, the first step is completed. So and make it a component. Yeah, after turning this into a component, I'm gonna call it pattern, add a new variant, and yeah, in order to create the pattern animation, we need to move that pattern all the way to the left, and then going to prototype tab, we need to create a smart animate interaction, right, between the first and second variants. So I'm checking to make the first and second variants as similar as possible to create a seamless infinite animation loop illusion. So we need to create a smart animate with these settings, right? Smart animate linear, 3000 milliseconds. And from the second to the first, in order to rewind our sliding animation to create a infinite/continuous sliding animation loop, we need transition to happen really quickly. So with the minimum delay, which is 1 millisecond, and the transition is going to be instant instead of smart animate. So let's drag an instance of our component and see if it works. I think this is the most seamless slide animation that we can create right now. So we're gonna drag again our BG component to create an animated preloader with a pattern is reaching to a full-size simulation. So I'm making sure they're aligned perfectly and checking our animation. So the following steps are creating a gradiented version of the pattern animation, right? In order to do that, we need to prepare our gradient element as instructed in this step. I'm gonna duplicate this gradient twice and line them up, and flip the one in the middle horizontally to create a seamless gradient that we can use in a looped animation. So that this way we can start the animation in the exact same loop that it ends. So I'm going to go to the layers tab to make sure that I'm pasting it over the, let's actually call this gradient, and move it all the way to the right. Change its mode to darken, copy it and go to the second variant and paste it. I'm gonna move it all the way to the left as instructed. I know right now it's not in the variant anymore, so I'm gonna put it back into variant 2. So hopefully this way. Actually, let's remove the background first to see how the gradient works. Yeah, as I see it, except the line between two gradients, it works almost perfectly. Let's paste the background layer back and see how it works with background layer to see the whole thing animated. Yeah, there is a, I guess we can increase the width even 1 more pixel, right? So let's see how it works that way. Yeah, it's not flawless, but it is definitely something that gives you an idea and works good enough. Hope you liked it. See you in the next tutorial.